Let's dive into the discussions shaping the nation.
Let's Comhairle, look, there is a responsibility on every member of this House to make sure that it does not become a toxic place to work. I've been a member here for 9 years. I've never found it a toxic place. I found it a place where there is vigorous and abrasive debate within this chamber, but it's always, in my view, been respectful. However, what we saw on the 22nd of January and what we saw last week was different. The reason it was different was because people were shouted down. I have no difficulty or objection, or neither does anyone, I think, in this House have objection to being heckled while you're making a speech. It's part of the democratic process nearly. But when somebody is incapable or prevented from making a speech or running orders that are part of dull procedures, that's different. And that's what happened on the 22nd of January, and that's what happened last week. I know the criticism here from the opposition is that the Comhairle didn't take the vote. In fairness to her, if you go back to the 22nd of January, the criticism of her at that stage was that she didn't allow a vote to be taken. On both occasions, the one thing that was consistent was that there were efforts being made to shout down what was being said in the chamber here. That's not a route down which we want to go. If we go down that route, we're going to find politics in this country becoming as toxic as it is in other countries. Everyone in this House knows there's a certain element of performativeness to what happens in this chamber. But even if there is vigorous and abrasive debate, afterwards we're still able to engage in a friendly manner with each other. And I think that's something that's extremely important that we seek to try to retain. I'm also concerned that the members who just recently got elected to this Dáil during the last election may think that this is the normal way to behave. It's not. It is not normal in my experience as a member of Dáil Éireann for 9 years that people are shouted down. There's also another thing we have to be careful of, is that the way we resolve contentious issues in this chamber is we have a vote. We determine the issue by a vote. Lots of us don't like the results of the vote. We were in opposition for many years, didn't like the result of the vote. But if a vote is taken, that issue is determined. And if we don't respect that vote, we're going to find ourselves in a very difficult position. So I would hope at the end of this debate, when there is a vote, that people will accept the outcome of it. Because if we don't accept the outcome of votes in this chamber, we're in a very different position to where we've been at any stage previously. Like other members of this chamber, I think this row has gone on for too long. I think it needs to be brought to a conclusion. The way it should be brought to a conclusion is through the normal democratic process of a vote. And I will ask members of the opposition, and indeed all members of the House, to accept the votes of the House. And if there is a vote at the end of this process which goes one way, let's just abide by that vote and get on with their business. I'm not attributing any blame to individuals as to why we don't have committees, but can I say this to you as Minister for Justice? There is a battalion of work that needs to be done, and I need committees there. I need opposition spokespersons in committee holding me to account, and I'd ask that we do that as quickly as possible.
Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.